Genesis 21, verse 1. Now the Lord was gracious to Sarah as he had said, and the Lord did for Sarah what he had promised. Sarah became pregnant and bore a son to Abraham in his old age, at the very time God had promised him. Abraham gave him the name Isaac to the son Sarah bore him. Abraham was 100 years old when his son Isaac was born. 100. And when God first spoke to Abram, he was 75. This had taken 25 years, but this was at the very time that God had appointed, the very time that God wanted. And we don't hear a lot about what happens to Isaac for a good many of years, but then we see that he actually grows up, and then God asks a very, very strange thing of him. He says, in the second chapter of today's reading, chapter 22, verse 1, sometime later, God tested Abraham, and he said to him, Abram, here I am, he replied. Then God said, take your son, your only son, whom you love, Isaac, and go to the region of Moriah. Sacrifice him there as a burnt offering on a mountain I will show you. Okay. This is an interesting turn of events. So, remember at the very first, God said, go and I will show you, where to go. Leave your father's country, go to a land and I will show you. And then the guy is not a father, and Abram kind of pushes back, and God says, no, I've got you. I'm making a covenant. I'm going to be faithful. You will have a son. And then we see today that all of a sudden God is saying, now go sacrifice him. What? And the thing is, we get further deeper into the story, and we see that God is actually not after Isaac's body. God is after Abraham's heart. And, Isaac is your only son, the one whom you love. Are you willing to put me and my commands? Is your obedience in the right place? Or are you just running off with the blessing and now he has become your everything? And we could have scores of discussions about just these two chapters alone. We don't have time for that. But here's a couple things I want you to realize. It says, early the next morning, Abraham went. So just like before when, God spoke it and Abraham did it, even in this, he believed. And so Isaac and Abraham go on this little journey, and Isaac carries the wood and the fire to the mountain, which is really interesting to me. And Abraham places Isaac on the altar after binding him. And it is in that moment when Abraham has been fully obedient, gone the whole way, that God says, stop. And then another ram is provided, and they actually carry out the sacrifice together there. This is another really good picture of another young man who's going to climb another mountain, carrying the wood on his back. Only this time, we're talking about Jesus, this time he takes the full punishment. And he does it for you and me. He does it because he knows that we actually weren't able to pay that price. And that other ram was provided for Abraham and Isaac, but see, Jesus is our lamb. There's a way that's provided for us. Again, scholars, there's so many studies on just these two chapters, and they're worth studying. It's worth reading and really getting into. But I want you to see that even centuries, millennia before Jesus came, there's all these pictures showing how God's plan is going to come to pass, and Abraham obeyed God.